start. Sounds good. Now you have the potential. I think you have to kind of just put a little more extra gas into life and it will come. See, these things are not really prescribed anywhere. We work on the, which page is this? 68, 70 then. 70. So let us first do something new and then I'll ask you to read whatever. What is it?
He asked me to give to you for free. He just sent an email.
20. And this is also very powerful. Very powerful. Tum Stri Tum Pumanasi.
Tvam Sri Tvam Pumanasi.
Tvam Stri Tvam Pumanasi.
Tvam Sri Tvam Pumanasi.
Tvam Kumara Uttava Kumari.
Tvam Kumara Uttava Kumari.
Tvam Kumara Uttava Kumari.
Tvam Kumara Uttava Kumari.
Tvam Jino Dandena Vanchasi.
Tvam Jino Dandena Vanchasi.
Tvam Jino Dandena Vanchasi.
Tvam Jino Dandena Vanchasi.
Tvam Jato Bhavasi Vishwato Mukha.
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 Tvam Stri Tvam Pumanasi.
Tvam Sri Tvam Pumanasi.
Tvam Kumara Uttava Kumari.
Tvam Kumara Uttava Kumari.
Tvam Jirno Dandena Vanchasi.
Tvam Jirno Dandena Vanchasi.
Tvam Jato Bhavasi Vishwato Mukha.
Tvam Jato Bhavasi Vishwato Mukha.
Very good. Then the next one. Ajata ityevam.
Ajata ityevam.
Ajata ityevam.
Ajata ityevam.
Kaschit viduhu pratipadyate.
Kaschit viduhu pratipadyate.
Kaschit viduhu pratipadyate.
Kaschit viduhu pratipadyate.
Rudrayatte dakshinam mukham.
Rudrayatte dakshinam mukham.
Rudrayatte dakshinam mukham.
Rudrayatte dakshinam mukham.
Tena man pahi nityam.
Tena mam pahi nityam.
Tena man pahi nityam.
Tena mam pahi nityam.
Ajnata ityevam.
Ajnata ityevam.
Kaschit bhiruhu pratipadyate.
Kaschit bhiruhu pratipadyate.
Rudrayatte dakshinam mukham.
Rudrayatte dakshinam mukham.
Tena mang pahi nityam.
Tena mam pahi nityam.
Tena mang pahi nityam.
Tena mam pahi nityam.
Alright. These are all very powerful, educational, and I think they are. My point is, eventually we have to broadcast this to the world. Whether we make a radio station, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, for the future. For the future. So this is not in the books. For the world. This is a message to the world. You know what I'm saying? Not that we are the people who can do this, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You see what I'm saying? When people can say, who are you? Why did you? You know, no, you do yourself. You see what I'm saying? But the question is, there is a message here, larger than anything that you heard of. You see what I'm saying? And let that be. You know what I mean? So you feel it, think about it, analyze it, hold it. If not anyone, tell it to your children. You know what I mean? In a family, discuss it. The other day when we are in your home, just be discussing this. Instead of hot house and so on, it's okay. You know, you do the Satyanaran Puja. Then you know, lift it higher. You know, I see that in different events and so on. So the point is, sometime the discussion in India was higher, because this otherwise it don't be written. You know, higher. But so it cannot, you see, now what happens, immediately boils down. So you try to see how to lift it. You know? So after your event, so read a couple of these things. Then you explain them. So let people comment on it. You know what I mean? So that's how your message goes. You see? Rudra yatte dakkhinam, one who kills me. Tena ma pahi nityam. Dakkhinamukam.
Also, while it's recording, could you like, you know, like how you translated it, could you tell that in English? That way we have it, because this translation is not good.
No, it's very simple. You know, first is Tomstri. You know, see, it's like he's talking about this so-called Almighty or whosoever created so on. So basically, he said, look, you know, you are a woman, you are also a man. Pumanasi. Tum Kumara, you are young. Tum Utava Kumari, young. So tum Jinno Dandena Vanchasi. You are only living with this Jinna Danda, you know, like a wretched stick, like a Sramana.
Okay.
Sramana is another, you know, like these are householders. Sramana is Sramana. You know what I mean? So my point is, these are the different variations I see you. The celebration of life. They can also say, I can see you in a dog or a cow or an elephant. You know what I mean? So this one stanza, that other stanza is similar to it. So which means the God is not one of those little objects. It is right in front of you. It has many shapes, many variations, and I see them all. You know what I'm saying? Right, okay. So tum jato bhavati, and then what happened? Tum jato bhavasi vishwata mukha. So you are this thing, but you kind of, the entire world is now manifested in you. So that's the, you know, the reverse part of it. That is, you contain the vishwata mukha. You may be Bani like that, little creature like that. Vishwata mukha. That's the message. Individual potential is much higher than the frame that you carry. Because that's a reflection of that larger frame. So once you discover that, dig it out. You know what I mean? And that's the mind. Mind makes me, you know, mind can expand, right? Mind can expand. So it's like, okay, I am holding the world. Who are you to hold the world? No, I think I am holding the world. Okay, right. And question, okay. just and same thing also here. Ajata ityevam kaschit virup, so that he has no birth. He has no birth. You know what I mean? That is Rudra. Ajata. Ajata, and some people say Viru. Some people also think that he is angry. Rudra. You know what I mean? Because he Dakshinamukham. Because he also destroys. He kind of. So that's what they say. That's what I say about you, O Rudra. You say about you. Rudra yatte Dakshinamukham. What do? That's what you're known for. But in that mukham, tena. So that thing which you destroy with that, man pahi. You know, you have like a bomb in your this thing, and that can destroy the world. So I'm telling you, let that bomb protect me. Know what I'm saying? So that's kind of becomes kala, that kind of becomes the factor of time. You see what I'm saying? That force which can be cause of my destruction, let that be my savior. See, I don't, I've done the message, the composition of it. So no such poetry exists. That's how I kind of, I love it. The idea of it, how to present it. Forget about Rudra. Rudra is nominal. But the point is the prayer is no sai send me. You know what I'm saying? So those are all only incidental. They only operate between when you are living. But there's a larger force operating for your birth and death. And that's time. That's the Rudra. Okay. Yasturna navayin tantuvihi.
Yasturna ivatantuvihi.
Yasturna navayiva tantuvihi.
Yasturna ivatantuvihi.
Pradhana jayi svabhatah.
Pradhana jayi svabhatah.
Pradhana jayi svabhatah.
Pradhana jayi svabhatah.
Deva ekah samapnoti.
Deva ekah samapnoti.
Deva ekah samapnoti.
Deva ekah samapnoti.
Sano dadhatu brahmapayam.
Sano dadhatu brahmapyayam.
Sano dadhatu brahmapayam.
Sano dadhatu brahmapyayam.
It's also another kind of the same kind of idea, but put in a different style. That tantuvi is like a designer. The tantu is the tantu now is that what is that thing which makes the net?
Webs, spider.
Spider. So spider just like he makes these things with the saliva pradhanaji, with his own efforts, makes the ja means what born out of him, pradhanaja, ja. So through that creates. So that's how the Vulsable Almighty is. Through this thing threads are coming out. The spider threads, he as he goes he makes them, right? So similarly, as he goes he makes them.
Okay.
That's the that's the connection. But then again, so the point is these similes don't exist in the other literature. So Deva Eka Samapnoti. So one God only. And that is the one who creates Abhrunoti, who designs. Sano Dadhatu. So let it be with me. No is our Naha. Naha comes in our pronouns. We'll do today. Okay. Then move on. Satanmayo.
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 Hyamrutaisa sanstho.
Yamritaisha sanso.
Hyamrutaisa sanstho.
Yamritaisha sanso.
Gyaha sarvago.
Gyaha sarvago.
Bhuvanashyasya gupta.
Bhuvanasya gupta.
Bhuvanasya asya gupta.
Bhuvanasya gupta.
Satanmayo amruto isa sanstho.
Satanmayo yamritaisha sanso.
Yasarvago bhuvanasya asya gupta.
Yasarvago bhuvanasya gupta.
Yaise asya jagato nityameva.
Yaise asya jagato nityameva.
Yaise asya jagato nityameva.
Yaise asya jagato nityameva.
Nanyo hetu vidyati shanaya.
Nanyo hetu vidyati ishnaya.
Nanyo hetu vidyati sanaya.
Nanyo hetu vidyati ishnaya.
Nanyo hetu vidyati sanaya.
Nanyo hetu vidyati ishnaya.
Alright. So the last one, why don't you people translate yourself, like I use the dictionary and see whether you can do. Next week we'll, if you fail or see how far you go. So we're meeting in 2 weeks, we have an extra work now. So Ravi. So no, I think that's all you learn though. See, I'm a physicist. Physics is not really going in the books. It's application, right? Application. Okay, all right. Okay, and anyone to try something? Anybody tried? Adivata or?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I also tried one.
So this is not really a recitation. Do you follow? This education. So you are speaking from your heart. You're not reciting. You follow what I'm saying? So you have been convinced. Nothing else. Know what I'm saying? So each statement comes with certain amount of feeling to you. Madhu, Vata, Ruta. You know what I mean? So basically, your heart is in it. It's not a statement. Not Rama went to forest. Know what I'm saying? It's an eternal, see your sense of blessing. That's a sense of blessing. Oh boy, we are going out. You know what I mean? Let that be good for you. Know what I'm saying? Which means you have a sincerity in your voice, in your passion, in your interaction, so that you are communicating. You know what I mean? Let all be well with you. Right? Anybody want to try? The point is, there may be some kind of anxiety in you, and that anxiety will always kind of down you. You can't bless. You know what I'm saying? Is a blessing? So you want to be blessed. How can you bless? So you have to feel that I'm blessed. Then only you can bless. You know what I'm saying? So if you have expectation going on, so that's the difference. Difference is when I'm blessing, ideally, I'm not competing with you. I'm not competing with you. You go, because that part, the logic is Visuddha Mukha. World is large and big. Enough for all. It's okay. My boy, move. I exist, you also exist. So it's okay. So that spirit, you communicate through that. You want to commission, try? Grammar. Know what I'm saying? And then bhava. Bhava is your sentiment. That should happen. Because you said so. You know what I mean? Why should it happen? I said so. So that is where the connection is. When you say Madhvi Gava Bhavantu Naha, let our cows be Madhvi. they give, they become sweet, they give good milk and so on, or with life be okay. Gawa is wealth, So when you say, what do you mean? I said so. Who is saying it? That thing is saying it. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it will happen. I will do tomorrow. Tomorrow this Bharata is coming to this, you will also come tomorrow. Bharata is coming to this, he is going to see Rama. And they have come to, they have reached the Bharadwaja. And Bharata is going with this huge army. Because Bharata says that he wants to bring Rama as the king. So but because his army, so he has put the army like a mile away. He doesn't want to take the Bharadwaja this thing, because Bharadwaja, doesn't want he has camels, horses and so on, they might damage his thing, he doesn't take. So Bharadwaja says, Bharadwaja thinks he has come to attack. So why are you going there? What is this? He says, no, what is it? Pure, what is it? Then Bharadwaja says, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you love so much Rama. Good for you. Okay. And then he says that I want to treat you. Then he says, no, that you have received me is enough. Then Bharadwaja says, how about your soldiers? They like to eat. They must have traveled. I will feed them. So then he calls this some kind of a Vishwakarma. That is this. And overnight, they have the buildings, palaces, they have food, they have rivers coming there. You know what I mean? It's happening. Means I don't know, I just read it last night, or I will read some more today. But the point is that the Balmiki's imagination. Means you see what I'm saying? The point is that he wants to feed them, and he has means to feed them. So, which means they're not a Vishwakarma, somebody came, but there are villages around who probably he knows, who can sustain them, who like him. But the point is, so the message I want to create out of this is that resources can be created if you have the right intent and people believe in you. And he gives them so on, and these people get dead drunk, like that. I think Valmiki enjoys it. And they say, after this thing, no, we don't have to go anywhere, we have to stay here. Bharata, you go to watch they are back, let Rama stay, it's okay, Rama is happy there, and we will stay here. I don't know, that's a poetic, but my point is that we have to do on stage. Literature can be fun also. It's not Sita is crying and Rama is going to forest. This is fun. And the way he presents it, pure fun. Okay, all right. You want to read? Read more times and then try to say that think this. Bhava. Bhava is a blessing bhava. You know what I mean? Not speaking bhava. Speaking bhava. So it means you are not saying this, uttering them. You are saying, let all be good with you. So that sincerity is there in your voice. Okay, and so these are only expressions of it. But that sincerity, your hand palm, anything, any roughness there, that's gone. The warm, the wet. You know what I mean? Like a mother. You know what I mean? It's okay. And with, you know what I mean, like this. Madhu Vata Rutayate Madhu Kiranti Sinda. So because that has happened and this will happen. That's the idea. That's the idea. Okay, alright, so keep on doing. So practice. Every day, if you do every day, it will come true. The reason I'm saying that why you have to don't, see that matra, your matra is also not really coming out. That's also Sanskrit Class. Matra you have to do that only by practice. Okay? Okay, alright. So let us do some more work. Okay. So what you want to do is what I will do is, that you will try these pronouns, right? Pronouns we did, tom, aham.
Yes.
So who now knows,
Want to try page 68, Actually, you said like needs to be written in a certain
oh, okay, all right, you want to do? Right, yeah, that's okay. No, I
हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापिहितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषन् पावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये.
okay. Keep on practicing more. You can see that this is different than the other one. Know what I'm saying? This is like a prayer. Dustaye, let me see. You know what I'm saying? Satya dharmaya. Tum dustaye. Tum. So there's a tum here. So there's no tum there. That is only empirical. Let there be good things. Let everything be good. You know what I mean? Things like that. So there's a difference. So that's the way we put some chanda here. Okay? So that chanda people do differently, different people may do differently. But you have grammar. Anybody else want to try? Want to try? Who is little this thing? Tattvam pushanna pabrunu Satya dharmaya dhrushaye. Satya dharmaya dhrushaye. So this is the madhukyaram. So these are the processes which you go through in order that you can say madhukyaram. You know what I mean? So these are you are trying to search. You know what I'm saying? And then that search has taken place. Then you say, all right. So now the question is, search may not complete. But what I'm saying is, however, we can always say that no, we're a little extra secure. In the sense that our legs are on the ground. You know what I mean? Voice is not stuttering. So I'm saying my hands are holding you. The reason I'm saying for the children and so on, to give an impression that my house is open to you. You see what I'm saying? He has enough confidence in you that this fellow will stand by me. Now, that doesn't happen easily. Doesn't happen easily. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of empathy goes out with it. But here it is, you want to try? You want to try? Okay.
Hiranya.
I want to see. Tum drustaye. You know what I mean? Satya dharmaya. You are the truth and you are dharma. I want to see you. So I'm saying you are not music. Hiranmayana patrena. Satyas apihitam mukham. You know what I mean? And that face I want to see. Right? So it's like it's like a prayer. Alright? So little more. Yeah? Go down. But depends upon, you can't go down unless you are prayerful. You know what I mean? You are really saying yes, 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 yes. Yeah? Try one more time. If you don't come. I'm saying you have to simply practice so that the words, you know what's coming. And then I think since they're mantras, so by virtue of reading many times, it will go inside. That is built in there. There are many other stanzas have disappeared. The stanzas stayed because this have been means to the japa process. Right? So basically to clean the mind, to clean the throat, you just continuously do, and then it will kind of, sometime it will just say. Okay, all right.
Can I try the others?
Which one? Right. Let's see See the tape from this point onwards, okay? So practice it with the tape or imitative, alright? Okay, alright. Because what is happening? No, I think we practice it, that's all. Practice it, we have on the tape. So I think last month, did you do last week?
Yeah.
Last week, yeah. This thing. And see that whether you get it, and then we'll try again another time. Alright? Which is a little hard though, because it's not done that way. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody says any actualization is not the purpose. Throwing is the purpose. So mantras are not thrown. Mantras are internalized. You're not doing for somebody else. So basically, okay, alright. So I do not know. It may not also come unless you fully convince yourself, but it may come. Why not? It may come. But we shall see. But if you practice though, if you don't practice, don't come. Practice and then have very positive. Be very positive in your mind, so that you have a purpose. See, all that to stay is a purpose. Purpose, and most people don't have purpose. They think they have purpose, but very unclean purpose. They have purpose, and purpose is where the mind goes. I have a purpose. Okay, all right. What I want to do was lesson 2. So from this point onwards, we'll do one lesson at a time, and every day, every class will do a lesson. Alright, and then we'll do homework and so on with the lesson. So we have 2 homeworks. One is that you recitation, don't fudge on it. Don't fudge on it. Okay? Try to develop that so that you gain more confidence. And more confidence will only come by repetition. Right? By repetition. So your any so-called fickleness, distraction, so that will gradually cease. So what we are seeing is this, when it's not smooth, so that's because the mind is not really, you can't keep the voice. Right? So, but by practice, when you expect something, it will come. Alright? Okay, here. So what happens is now what we are after is, we have 2 things to do. We have few extra pronouns. I think they come in which page? Kim, 73. It's 73. It's 73. 73 and you see here at the 74th page. 74th page. So we did the Sahat we did last time. Remember? So now what the doctor says, the Saha also has few other sisters, which is Yaha. And what? Yaha is that. And Kaha. Kaha is what? So Saha is he. Right? Yaha is that. And Kaha is what? So they're also pronouns, but they go as, they will be declension like Saha. Right? But then we need them for our sentence construction. Okay. So this feminine of that is Shayaka. Saha, Yaha, Kaha, and Sa, Yaka, and that declension is given on the other page, right? With the the page I gave you last time?
67.
67? Yeah, 67. Very good. 67. So it is behind. Yeah, 67. Right. So like that. So what will happen is that since you may not memorize them all, but we will do them exercises so that you have to kind of pull them out. Pull them out and see that properly. Okay? So saha, then tena, yena, kena, then taya, kaya, kaya. So tena would be what case? Instrumental. Like upena. Similarly, tena. Tena, yena, kena. Then taya. Taya would be? No? Instrumental. Feminine. Right? Like lataya. Lata, lataya. So similarly, taya. Sha, taya. Sha, te, ta. Tam, te, tan. And then taya. Then tashmai. Tashmai, yasmai, kasmai. Alright, which is the dative. And then we have tani, yani, kani. Tani, yani, kani would be what? Like phalani, like panani, neuter plural. Neuter plural, tani. You know, ni is like a banam, bane, banani. So, tat, to, tani. Tani. Tat, to, tani. Okay? So, tani is like a banani, falani. Okay? Tani, yani, kani, which are neuter. Okay? So anyway, so basically what happens is that when we do the exercises, you may have to pull these words out and see what might be happening. That's the idea. That's the idea. So now you go to lesson 2. Lesson 2 has this thing. I think I might have mentioned that they have the original words that came out from in Sanskrit were decomposed to find the so-called dhatus. Dhatus are roots. So we do not know why those words were used in that manner. You understand that? That is, certain words were used in certain manner. And then people tried to classify those, which they thought were verbs. And then they found that those verbs are being used in 10 different manners. So they became 10 classes of Sanskrit verbs, purely by classification. You know what I'm saying? But this is how, so we do not know the neurological reason why it was done, why the people use those forms. We do not know. But what we know, what the technique or the grammarians did, they took and they could try to put them in classes. So basically what I'm telling you is that we do not know the reason for the classes, but we know classes exist. You know, scientific reason, why this is different than that, we do not know. But we know that people who created the words, how the words were created? By speech. again, we do not know how they were created, like who are the people and how they got into it. Alright? So like that. So the first one is the one which we are talking about here, which is they call Bud. So and then they had so they had the 10 classes, and they also had 10 tenses. Tenses. What is the tense? Time measure. Tense in the sense that when the verb communicates its functionality as a function of time. Time in the present, time in the past, time, past again is segmented into 3 or 4 parts. Immediate past, yesterday past, long time past, so things like that. And future, and then what they call. So out of all those 10 classes, 5 has been used. 5 have been used presently. Present means more popular, which are like the present and the past and the future and what they call this imperative. Imperative means the like a order, command. Go there, sit. So the imperative. And then because conditional in the sense that it should be done. So 5 ones, 5. Past, present, future, and then imperative, conditional. Alright? So out of that we will visit all of them. But in the beginning we are doing in the first present tense of the first class. Do you follow? So normally if you want to know everything, then you have 10 classes and 10 tenses, 100 classes, 100 divisions. So that's because what Sanskrit succeeded in, at least documenting it. Same thing happens in other languages, but nobody could document it because they could not make any head and tail out of it. Greek, Latin, they could not create a grammar. Grammar means like you have to kind of say that this is a verb, this is a noun, this is this. So that delineation, so that did not happen. Here it at least happened. That's how we call it, the word is grammar. Alright. So then what happens is that each of these verbs, we have 3 persons. 3 persons in the sense, first person, second person, third person. Now they call it Pratham Purusha, Madhyam Purusha, Uttam Purusha. But reverse order. Uttam Purusha is you, me, Madhyama is you, and Pratham Purusha is third. Third in the sense the he. So I, you, he. So they call it Prathama. Who can guess why this would call that Prathama? Prathama is first, right? So why should the he be first? Yeah? Money?
Cultural?
It is cultural, yeah.
Because we see.
You should always respect the other person before you tell your name or something like that.
No, for a long time the so-called divinity is called Tat. Third is not there. So that's the third part of it. That's the first. So he was there before us. Om Tat Sat, so Tat. You know what I mean? So that is Prathama. We are second. Right. So like that. Okay. Prathama. First person. First person means Adi Purusha, the first person. Like that. So Okay. So now the question is, so you can read down Vadami. Next page, like page 30. Hmm.
वदामः
Okay.
वदसि वदथः वदथ वदति वदतः वदन्ति
Very good. So you can Khadami,
खादामि खादवः
Khadavah.
खादावः खादामः खदसि खदतः खदत खदति खदतः
Kha, 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 kha.
खादतः
खादतः खादन्ति
Khadasi, Khadatah, Kha, Kha. So, Khadami, Khadavah,
खादामि खादावः खादामः
right.
खदसि
Khadasi,
खादसि खादतः खादत खादति खादतः खादन्ति
very good. So you want to try Kavish, the other one, Tyaj, Tyajami,
त्यजामि त्यजामः त्यजामः त्यजसि त्यजथः त्यजत्
Tyajatha,
त्यजथ
right.
त्यजति त्यजतः त्यजयन्ति
Tyajanti,
त्यजन्ति
Tyajanti,
त्यजन्ति त्यजन्ति
Tyajanti. Okay, Mani, you want to do like Dhavati, Dhavami,
Dhavami.
Dhavavaha,
Dadavaha. Davamaha. Davasi.
Dhavashi, yeah,
Davataha. Davata.
Dhavatha,
Dhavata.
Dhavatha,
Dhavata. Dhavati. Davataha. Davanti.
right. You also should try your alphabet a little more. Remember earlier you had same problem, you know what I mean? So before the mantra thing, also ka, kha, ka, kha. Let the breathing be clean. You know what I'm saying? That only come by practice, no intellect. You know what I mean? So you have to purely try it, and then you can do this thing. It will sound neater. You follow what I'm saying? Say wa, ya, she. So you have to internalize that. Do you follow? So the whole process, I think I had said many times before, that here we are not speaking, we're expression. So our breath is under control. So anytime you are as though you are throwing it, you are ruining it. You are struggling it. I must say something. You know what I'm saying? No. I'm kind of expressing myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing also with Sudarshan. You have to also practice the alphabet a little more. Sit down in this thing and then get that breathing. Breathing is a little hard. This side, I think people are a little more work here done. But those two, I think Punam is probably. But do that. Do that in the sense. Ko. Ko. So they're japa. They're japa. They're kind of a. I think I can't vouch that for that it will increase your life, but that may be something to do with breath control. You know what I mean? So that you learn to take longer breaths. So any short, what called short breath. You know when you lose breath, right? So that instead of that, So you have a full, anytime you're breathing. So what happens is, through that, there's the more conviction in the voice and internally. So which means the things are not produced in the throat, produced here, because you're breathing them. Ka. So when you say ka, the whole body participates. Ka. 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 Whole body participates. How is it? Try that. Okay. Then you try that. G, Jayati, Jayami. G is the last one here.
You're asking.
So apply that on the Badami.
Okay.
Jayami.
Yeah. Jayami, Jayava, Jayama,
Right.
Jayasi, Jayatha, Jayatha,
Right.
Jayati, Jayata,
Right.
Jayanti.
Right. Right. No, I don't like that sound. That sound is not soft. Sanskrit sounds should be soft. So that will come provided you take control on this, on the breath. You know, and take more liquids maybe, so that the voice is, you are able to, you know what kumbhaka is? Do that. Do that. Let it go. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, to hold it. You know, in other words, that reduce any tension. For this part, when you are doing your, normal business, let the tension come back and so, because there you can't say like you have to, professional. But for this purposes, let that thing. Okay, all right. So now these things continue. So what happens is there are exercises here, which are, they are saying conjugate the following verbs. G, drush. So drush they have given the pashyati, right? Budh. Budh goes as bodhami. Budh they are giving, budh bodhati. And spru. Spru is marati. And sad. Sad sigati. Alright? So they are saying that conjugate them. So do conjugate them. Okay? And then he is saying, translate the following. Translate the following. Aham badami. Aham badami. So badami is what? Speak. I speak. Te tejanti. So te is they. Tejanti. They live. Right. Then pibamaha. When you say just pibamaha, what that might mean?
I drink.
Bayam. Bayam is, like we. Pibami, pibamaha, pibamaha. So pibamaha means by default, there's a we there. So when you say pibamaha, we is built into it. Sanskrit doesn't need a we, English needs a we. Because English is a subject oriented. Here we are verb oriented. Okay? Avam dhavabaha. Avam, we too. Dhavabaha, running, are running. We too are running. Okay. Sha bodhati. Now, so this English translation is not very important, but you do it for practice sake. Tvam tishtati. So now let us go for the translate the following into Sanskrit. You too speak. You too would be? Avam, right. Avam. No, you too. Yuvam. Tom yuvam, yuvam. So yuvam, speak. Badatha. Very good. Very good. Badatha. Then it leads. Leads is, it calls nayati. It is
Tad.
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 right. Etad. Etad. It.
Nayati.
Yeah, tad also. Tad also you can do. Tad leads.
Niyati.
Nayati. Nayati.
Nayati.
So then let us say they two, and I'm number 6 now. They two feminine stand. They two. Feminine. They, right. Sha, they, ta. So they two stand.
See that?
Tishtata.
Tishta.
Tishtata.
They two. Istataha. Istataha.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Taha. Istataha. Istanti. So those kind of things. Right? Now there's no logic for it. So we are trying to find what the neurological reason may be.
Can you lock it back?
What neurological reason may be, why they thaw and why they thaw, right? We have not found it. So that's a bigger question. So I think the reason I want to do this cultural invasion, because sometimes our children might get into that, which is also in the brain. The difference between how the sound changes between the perception of he and we. You know what I'm saying? Which are very, sensing of that would be very hard. But that is how it has come. It's not just by fluke, call this and call that, by use. So the question is how so in the present literature, present English and so on, these things are gone. Because they have become what you call grammar instructed. We are going, that's all. So you don't say what your mind thinks. When the mind thinks, so then you have these other syllables may come. Because you are not set to say this. You follow that? Okay, all right. So then let us see number 10. They two dwell. They two masculine. They two, saha, tau. Tau, dwell. Dwell is vasati. So they two, vasataha. Vasataha. Vasati, vasataha, vasanti. Okay, vasataha. So they two. Okay, like that. So you do that. And then we have a number 4 here. Number 4 is complete the following sentences by using the appropriate verbal and pronominal forms. So what happens is tvam, and they have a drush, and they have left it. You have to say that what might be the suffix here. So drush goes as pashyati. So tvam would be what? Pashyashi. Pasyasi. Drush goes as pashya. Okay. So again, we don't know why that is drush and why that is pashya. So what happens is pashya is the one which is used. But drush also becomes drakhyati and so on also used. So what grammarian has done, so they have classed them together. Not saying that drakhyati is another word, pashyati another word, but they come from the same root. So it's like a more finding a metal, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So then tishtataha, feminine. Tishtataha. Tishtataha is satet, yeah. Very good. Te tishtataha. Tani gam. Tani is plural. Gachanti. Gachanti. Gam becomes gacha. Gacha. Okay. So I think if you do one exercise per day, then gradually you will learn, because they will also repeat. But this is a word way to. Then 5 is no. So then badamaha. Badamaha is
Vayam.
Vayam, very good. Vayam vadamaha. Then, now one thing Sanskrit doesn't have is like which we have in other languages. Like for example, sun rises in the east. There's no distinction between sun rises in the east and sun is rising in the east. Sun rises in the east is a more empirical statement. Tomorrow also it will come. Sun rises in the east. I have class on Mondays. You know what I mean? It's more empirical, regular. But the question is, Sanskrit doesn't distinguish. So we don't know why. So that's, when those things have to be examined, whether that's natural, not natural, because there's a whole thrust about what a natural language is.
Isn't there a difference between the tense that we can see now, we are seeing now, and we not seeing now?
No, but that's the empirical statement, man is mortal. Man is mortal, not the man is dying. So the empirical statement, philosophical statement. So that has to, so that those are not the same tense as something happening. So what they go into, present tense is something happening or something might happen or empirical, they're all bundled in as a one declension. You know what I mean? And I have difficulty with that in the sense that that is not really scientifically, they're not similar. Right? So that's what I'm saying. So for example, Vayam vadamaha, right, could be translated as we speak or we are speaking. But there's a distinction. You see what I'm saying? That distinction is not real. Vayam vadamaha, we speak. Also we are speaking. Okay, alright. So saha ji. Ji is? Jayati. Very good. So tyajatha. Tyajatha. Tyajatha is the dual. Dual. Right. Tyajatha no. Dual is plural. Plural of the tvam.
Yuyam.
Yuyam. Very good. Yuyam tyajatha. Aham bash. Bashami. Bashami. Then dhavatah. Dhavatah is
Second person.
second person. So tum yuvam. Yuvam dhavatah. Then masculine pivatah. Pivatah, pivati, pivatah, pivanti. So tau. Masculine tau. Sa taute. Tau pivatah. Taha smru. Taha is feminine plural. Sa te taha. So taha smaranti. Smaranti. So same thing again. Whether they remember or they are remembering are not distinguished. Also we have another thing, like for example, they have been remembering. What I'm saying, which is another variation of remember. Right? So that also doesn't have a Sanskrit tense for it. So we do not know the sociological implications of that. Or they forgot. What I'm saying is that all that might have been dumped into one of these classes, which we have no trace now. You know, when now we said this is this, but that, in the classification, they did not look for these other possibilities, whether they exist or didn't exist. You know what I mean? Even we do that now. Anybody does classification? You do classification work?
We do that in our product, like.
You do classification?
Yeah.
Yeah. So classification you dump. You don't really, try to see, you don't really go on analyzing what other characteristics might exist. How does it distinguish, if any, and so on, like that. Okay, all right. Then khadavaha.
Khadava, avam.
Avam.
Avam, avam mayam, avam khadavaha. Then bhavanti. Bhavanti, masculine. Sateta. No, satote. Te bhavanti. Te bhavanti. Then bodhataha. Feminine. So, sa, te. Te bodhataha. Then sa, ni. Nayati.
Nayati.
So, then not neutral. Is a ti. Tad.
Tad.
Tad is a ti. And write any 5 Sanskrit sentences of your own. That you can also do. Right? So like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like that you do 5 of these. So that's what we will do. We do 1 lesson for this thing. And sometimes we might do 2. Depending upon how you people do. You follow what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that reason I kind of say that we do 2 weeks probably may not be bad because we have a 2-hour class. Right? So 2-hour class means 2 contact hours. Right? So 2 contact hours means 1 hour almost you are taking a recitation. So that you master. And then 1 hour on the grammar.
So we can do page 41.
Right. From the exercise on the 32, 33. 32, 33. Okay. And then you also, if possible, you read. And also, how about this, our words? Kupaha, kupahu, anybody? Progressed?
I progressed, but
But stumbling in
not
kupaya?
Yeah. But by next class I should be good.
Try how far you can go. Try.
Kupaha, kupami,
Kupo.
No, kupahu.
kupau,
Yeah. Kupaha.
kupaha, kupe,
Kupam.
kupam, kupau.
Right. Practice. I think anybody you do kupa? You did kupa. Huh?
Kupaha, kupau, kupah, kupam, kupau, kupan, kupena, kupabhyam, kupai, kupaya,
Very good.
kupabhyam, kupebhyah,
Very good.
kupat, kupabhyam, kupebhyah,
Very good.
kupasya, kupa,
Upayoho.
kupayoh, kupanam, kupe, kupayoh, kupeshu,
Right.
kupa, kupau, kupe, kupau, kupah.
Very good. Anybody else? Lata? Anything we did? What? Banam? Lata? Muni? Kupa? No, Kupa is the first station. We have to go beyond. Lata? You did?
I did, but I may stumble.
That's okay. See, only to practice because certain things you have to kind of do in class, then you kind of remember them. Or also you would probably, yeah? Lata?
Lata, late, lata.
Very good.
Lata,
Lata, late, lata.
lataha.
Hmm.
Lata, late, lataha. Latam, latabhyam.
No, late.
This is the third one. Latam,
No,
late,
second one,
lataha.
you did latam, late, lata.
Latam, late, lataha. Lataya,
Yeah,
latabhyam,
very good.
lata.
Spacings and so on, so they don't exist. So that we have to understand. So basically we have only matra, harsho, dirgha, and pronunciation. So that we are practicing. Ekada Bharat Dese Kapila Vastu Nagare Shuddho Tano Namo Rupovarat Tasmin Nagare Sarve Jana Sukhina Vasan Jananam Sukhena Rupopi Sukhamabhavata Sarvaha Sarvani Sahasranya Buddha Sarvadaya Satyameva Vasata Tasya Bharya Maya Devi Tasyaha Sarveguna Avartakta. So when I said Tasyaha and there's a seems like a pause, that's not a pause. Tasyaha has a built-in pause in it. So here there will be space there. So but there is no space. Tasyaha brings the space, which is like your thinking space. So that is what the Sanskrit is orchestrated. That is where you will take the thinking pause. Okay. Yada yada jana suddhodanam mayadiri chaiksanta tada tada tirmanyanta yayatayo putra bhave soapi asmakam bhave. So for example, I again read wrong. Yayatayo putra bhave soapi asmakam bhave. So I paused as though that two different sentences. No. It continues. It continues. Ishvara smakam rupaya putram vajjatviti sudadhanashvaya sarvajasurnaya mama putro jayatam tasya matihi shaktikurascha vastuntam Svei Gurei Sakya Matya Sarva Lokan Jayatu Sarvajam Samaputram Sarvada Namantu Pujayatu Cha Mama Putraha Sarvebhyo Janebhyaha Sudayatu Ye Sarvesham Jananam Dukkham Arpiti. So like that. So read some, actually so we don't think that you'll be perfect, but try to read. Try to read holding the syllable. You know what I mean? Not like, you see vocabulary really is different. How much you read, one volume page or one chapter book they read, so on. So that's kind of I have 500 words. Here we have no 500 words. We have only 50 syllables. I'm saying, so those things we master. Every time the syllable comes, we know how to articulate it. You follow the Sanjeev?
Yes.
So we don't have words. You know what I mean? Like you have 1,000 words English, you know, or you're Bengali, you know, 5,000 words, or something like that. So those are kind of a different cultivation. Here they don't exist. Here we have this 55, 57, 65, they say, syllables. Where we did not do all 65 syllables. We did about 52 or 53. But those syllables, we just say, every time we see them, we know how to utter them. That's the idea. That's the idea. Not the words. Not the words. So with that tool, you go. Veda, Upanishads, Gayatri, you know what I mean? No words. Mantras, right? And then see whether the meaning will come with it. But let us first master the syllabus. Alright? Okay, very good. So you are all clear? So you continue to read this, Buddha Katha and so on. Okay. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Very good. Very good. Keep on. Very good. It's coming. So next week you won't meet, but I'll probably write to me, or I'll also give you some instruction maybe. But practice it. But if you cheat it, then you don't cheat it anyway. So it doesn't matter 2 weeks or 5 weeks or 10 weeks.